Hi, I'm Kristen Lehl, and this is CMA 101. All right, congratulations. You have earned your license. You are a realtor. Now, all your friends are asking you, what is my house worth? Don't panic. I'm here to show you the easiest way. Well, I'm here to show you my way of how to do a CMA. And everyone has a different way of doing it, and that's perfectly fine. Your mentor may do something different. That's okay. Take bits and pieces of whatever seems to work for you and use it. This is to show you my way. So again, you will have everybody say, hey, what's my house worth? Sometimes you just want to run in fear, and sometimes you're like, yes, it's $1 million mansion. But either way, don't be intimidated. This is a really easy thing to do. All right. There are a few things that you need to check as soon as you find out someone wants to know their house is worth. What I do, I immediately go to whatever county they're in. I go to the county assessor site, and these are the different assessor sites. We've got Douglas County, Sarpy County. Some of us do Lincoln and Washington County. These are the closest and most often used. I will have this set aside so that you can easily get to these. Um, it'll be in a folder or it'll be emailed to you so you know where to find all these different county assessor sites. When I get to those those county assessor sites, let's take Douglas County, for example. I will pull their tax records. Now, this one I pulled last year. So the writing that I have over here is for 2020 because this shows 2019. And in Douglas County, we do things in arrears. So we're paying for them as if they're current, but we're paying for the previous year. It's a little confusing, but you'll catch on. Again, anytime you have a question, ask your mentor. So I pull the tax information because I want to know what taxes look like. I also want to know what the assessor site is saying. This particular house is in Westside School District. It's on Arbor. Let me see, there we go. And I just had this listed. So this is information that I had already pulled. I figured I'd show you. I print it out, but I also save it in a Google file. So I have everything that I need. You will get information off of those two sheets that you need when you list the house. When I finish that, I also go to the MLS into Paragon and I pull any previous listings that they may have. I want to see what it sold for, what they have as far as amenities. I want to make sure I have a basic idea of what the house is, especially if I have never seen it before. This one has no pictures. It only has the first picture. So I don't know what the inside looks like. I don't know what I'm getting into. However, I can see that the master, what we now call primary, the primary bedroom has wall-to-wall carpeting. It has a ceiling fan. Okay. The living room has wall-to-wall carpeting. All right. Maybe they tear it out. Maybe they still have it. I don't know. But it looks like the laundry is below grade. Okay, so now I know where the laundry room is. It's below grade. And sometimes that's really important to buyers. So we have to make sure we know where that is. So I pull that information. I find out what they have purchased the house for. Our MLS goes back to at least 1999. So if the seller has lived in the house longer than that, or if they purchased it from somebody who did not use a realtor, it won't be in the MLS. Otherwise, it should be in the MLS, and then you'll be able to see previous pictures, what it looked like when they bought it. You can also look up information about surrounding areas. So I did the surrounding area. I wanted to find the CMA summary of Westside School District ranch houses that are similar to this one. And it gives me the active, pending, and sold homes. It's considered the residential summary, the CMA summary report. I use that. It gives me an idea of what the average sale is in that neighborhood. I don't know the house well, so I'm not going to get down to the nitty gritty. All of this I do before I even go to the house. When I get to the house, I do a two-step process. I go to the house, I gather information, and then I go back to my computer and I do the CMA. I get down into the weeds and I know exactly what the house has in it, how many updates, if it is in good condition or if it's just a complete mess, how large the yard is, what kind of features they have. All of this information will help me compare it to the neighborhood. And then I can give them a much better market analysis, price range. When I get to the house, I immediately take a picture of the front of the house and I take a picture of the surrounding area. So I know what the street looks like. And most of the houses are going to be similar and definitely in the same age range. I go up, knock on the door. Hi, Mr. Seller. Hi, Mrs. Seller. I'm Kristen. Let's have a chat. I bring with me 2 copies of agency disclosure because by law, we're supposed to explain agency at the first practical moment. Anytime we have real in-depth conversations, explain agency. I go over agency. I tell them that this is not a contract, but I have to explain what it means as my role for the seller's agent. So I give this to them. I bring 2 copies, one for me, one for them. If you have a seller sign something, you have to leave them with a copy. You can't take it back and mail it later or email it later. So always bring 2 copies. We go over that, and then I've done my due diligence and I stay out of realtor jail. Always do that. The second thing I hand them is a seller property condition disclosure. Whether they use me or not, this has to be completed when they send it. If they don't use me and they want to do FSBO, fine, here you go. Good luck. But then they have it and it helps us when we go to those FSBOs, but that's another story altogether. Obviously, they're going to hire us because we are amazing. We're Better Homes and Gardens Good Life Group. Then I sit down with that seller, or as we're still sitting down, I go through the lip sheet. This is the MLS residential input form, the listing input form. We call it a lip sheet. It gives you all the information that you're going to need about this house. You can fill some of it out before you go to the house, things like the lot dimensions, the legal description, if it's what the address is, what county it's in, your information. You need to have your agent ID, all that good stuff on here. What you'll ask them are things that you don't know. Things like protective covenants. Is their home located in a protected area, historic preservation area, airport environs, all that good stuff. So it's important to know. If they know, then you can disclose it. You also want to ask them, is there an HOA? Sometimes there was when they purchased it, but then it dissolves after they've lived there for a few years. So you want to make sure you ask them, are you a part of the HOA? Is there an active HOA in your neighborhood? You will also go through each and every house and each and every room, and you're going to click off different items. You want to know how many bedrooms, are there any excuse me, on the 3rd page, do you have any ceiling fans? Is it wall-to-wall carpeting? Do you have hardwood floors? Is there, did I say walk-in closet, ceiling fans, anything that you may need? Does the kitchen have a pantry? Is there an eat-in section to the kitchen, or is it just a formal dining room? All this information you will need to fill out because it will help you, number 1, when you go to list it, and number 2, while you're doing the CMA, because you can go back and see, oh, that's right, the master or primary does have its own bathroom, and it is a 3/4 bathroom. So make sure you fill this out completely, and as you go through the house, I get the permission from the seller, and I tell them, I'm going to take a picture for me. This is to help me jog my memory while I'm doing the CMA and say, that's right, this room does have that, in case I miss it on here. I tell them and I assure them, nothing will go out into the public. This will not be used when we list. I always use a professional photographer, yada, yada. And I've never had a problem. The only thing that people have said is, please don't put me in the picture. Done. I make sure that I don't get any personal information. If there's kids, I make sure I don't get the kids in the picture, and I don't get pictures of the kids because I don't want that kind of liability, in my opinion. All right, we're at the house. We finished all that. Now we come back to the computer and we sit down to do the CMA. I am going to share with you how I do this. Let's get into the correct page. You're in the MLS. I have looked up the specific house that I'm looking to do the CMA for, and this one happens to be 8091 Arbor Street. It's my pending listing right now, so I've already got all the information for you. Then I click on I do search residential, and I come down here and I get information that I need. I want to know what has sold as a single family residence that is not attached. I scroll down to the status date and I click on 6 months back, because as we know, markets are about 6 months long, give or take. It changes, it constantly changes. So you don't want to do 2 years unless you really have a very specific property or a very unique property. Otherwise, you want to use the 6-month rule. Then I fill out the rest of the information that I can. It has 3 bedrooms. It has 1 bathroom on the main level. Some of these homes don't have any garages, but I want to get a little more in depth. I know this particular house has 2-car garage, but I'm going to put in 1, and I can always adjust my comparables as needed. It does have a basement, and I'm going to do a rubber band. This is called the rubber band search. We're in the map. Let me see if I've got the map here. Oh, it didn't pull up. Good grief. Okay. Well, normally you have a little thing here that states draw. You click on draw. I do the rubber band, and then I find the neighborhood and I click on it. For this particular one, I'm going to go from 90th Street and Pacific over to 72nd and down to 80th. So I'm going to have this little corridor. All right. I'm going to go back to criteria, but I want to make sure I'm only getting West Side School District homes. They do tend to be worth a little more because it's a desired area and there's only so many spaces in West Side. So I want to make sure I'm not pulling from any other school district. And I also want to limit down my search, so I have ranch homes only. And I know that this house is a little bit smaller, so I put in total finished square feet, 2,000. And then I click count to make sure it's refreshed, and I hit search. Okay, we've got 9 houses. Well, I know right off the bat that this particular house is not going to be in the 300 range. I've seen the home. So that one, we're going to automatically unclick. I've selected all, and then I've unselected that. 87th, 235. Let's take a look. We're going to start at the most expensive and work our way back. 235. Oh, look, it's Tom's listing. Let's see here. This looks like a real nice house, but it's got a, look at this yard. It's got quite a large yard. Our home does not have that large of a yard. So this really, and it's got an attached garage. This really isn't a great comp. So I'm not going to use this comp. I'm going to uncheck that, and I'm going to go 1 back. Oh, here's one. It's on the same street. It's on Arbor Street. Let's take a look at this. Now, remember, I've already gone through and I've checked off houses that are ranch only, 3 bedrooms, at least 1 bathroom, at least 1 garage space, and no more than 2,000 square feet. This has a 2-car garage, 2-car detached garage like my subject listing. Great. What else do we have? Nice deck, nice hardwood floors. Okay, so they had a smaller kitchen and they've opened it up completely. And it's this home again is a very similar style to our subject property. It's in beautiful shape, nice finished basement. This is a nice comp, and it's on the same street, across the street, and 5 houses down. I'm going to keep this. This is a great comp. Let's go to the next house. Okay, so here's Arbor. I can tell this is only a block away. It's on Gold. So let's take a look at this. This is going to be in the same area, same era. It's a nice ranch. It does have an attached garage. Ooh, look at this. A lot of mid-century features. Look at that kitchen. This is great. So this house has not been updated at all. Not at all. Look at this kitchen. I'm sorry, this is the bathroom. Personally, I love mid-century. I think this is beautiful, but not every buyer is going to think so, and they're not going to pay top dollar for it if that's not what they love. This is their basement. Another bedroom. Okay. Oh, this is the basement, excuse me. All right. It's very period. Okay, so this house has not been updated at all since it was built, it looks like, but it looked to be in really good shape. It's right on the main road, and it looks like, yep, it backs up to West Center. So this could be a good comp because it's similar in style. It's in the same neighborhood, just a block away, and it's similar in size, but it has a detraction of that center being right on Center Street. We're going to keep it. Let's go to the next one. We're going to keep scrolling down until we see something. All right, this is got a lot of built-ins. Oops. An older kitchen. No appliances. So this one's really rough. It needs a lot of work. And the basement is unfinished. My particular listing is a bit better than this, so we're not going to use this one as a comp. This is pretty rough. All right, so we're not using this. This doesn't work for us. Let's go to the next one. And you're going to do this until you find really good comps. I'm going to skip ahead because I've already done this for us. So here are my three. I've got a house on C Street. It is very similar, detached two-car garage. The house that was on Craig, right here. It's also neighborhood, very similar, but attached garage, but it's dated. So that will help with the price point. And then this is the house that is almost the exact same floor plan across the street and 5 houses down. So these are my three comps. We have our comparables. We have our subject property information. Now we're going to do the CMA. So you're going to go up to the CMA presentations and click on create presentation, which again, I have done. I'm going to click that off and start over. Create the presentation. And the first step it's going to ask you is, what is the name? I'm going to name it after the street. I either name it after the street or I name it after the seller. It depends on my relationship. If I know the seller real well, I'm going to say, oh yeah, that's Star's house. I know that house. And I don't always know the address. But if I know the address and not the seller, then that's what I put in. Do it any way you want. Just make sure you understand what you're doing and why, and an easy way for you to find that house. My husband does this differently than I do, and your mentor may do it differently than I do, and that is okay. Whatever works for you. Okay, we want the subject property information in here. So I'm going to use the previous existing MLS listing that they had when they purchased it. Quick search. So it's this one right here, 9910, yada, yada, yada. I copy the listing, the MLS number, and I'll paste it in here and click go, and it will bring up, yep, that's the house, that's the street, and that's the information. This is correct. So your subject property automatically pulls in if it's in the MLS. If it's not in the MLS, you will need to put all the information in yourself. It's not hard. Have your mentor sit down with you and do it. It just takes a few extra moments. On a side note, this particular home, when it was sold last time, clearly did not use a professional photographer. If you do nothing else in this business when you do listings, get a professional photographer. It makes all the difference in the world, especially since this is the only picture in the MLS. Do you even know what the house looks like? In this day and age, everybody shops online, so make sure you use a professional photographer. Okay, that's my spiel. Moving on to the next page. On the top right-hand corner, you will click Next, and we're going to create a client. Now, I've already done one for us, so I'm going to search her up. It's Jane Doe. There she is. I'm going to use Jane Doe, and this is my personal email address. Do not use it. Next. Okay, now we need to add comparables. We've already gone through and done our research, so we're going to click on Add Comparable, and then on the bottom right-hand corner, it says Add Specific MLS. You click that, and then I go back to the Residential tab, and I copy and paste each one into this bar because I know, oh look, because I already did it, there they are, but you would copy and paste each one. Then you click Go, and it should bring up the 3 houses that we pulled. And you look at the addresses to make sure in the pictures, yep, those are the correct ones. Okay, top right corner, click Next. This does an automatic CMA. I've had trouble with this page myself, so I don't use it. I click and I just do the adjustments manually. One of the things that you're gonna want that I use religiously is this CMA adjustment form. It gives you different price points for different items. This is just a guideline, a basis. As you get into the business, you're gonna get a better feel for it, but basically, this is a good rule of thumb to use to get you going on the first CMA. This first house, we're going to go down and look at the information. Okay, 3 bedrooms. We don't really give consideration for bedrooms. What we give consideration for is the square footage. So let's take a look at square footage. We have 1,000 square feet on the main level, and they have 936. Well, we have more, and that makes us happy. So you have to figure all this out. Let me get my calculator out here. There we go. Sorry. So we have 1,026 as opposed to their 838, which means we have 188 square feet on the main level more than they have. Actually, I did that wrong because they have 936. 126 minus 936. Actually, we have 90 finished square feet different. Here's our price range. So for finished square footage on the main level, in the price range of 100,000 to 200,000 for a home, that's the middle box, it's an average of $20 to $35 per square foot. I'm not exactly sure, so I'm thinking it's going to be probably in the mid 100s for this listing price. So I'm going to do $25 per square foot. Whatever you do, one of the things that I also do, I print out that page. Let me go back. I know I'm back and forth here, but I will print this page out and then I will write on it AG above grade square footage 25. So I know how much I used for each adjustment. Below grade, let's see, the below grade is anywhere from 10 to 15. I'm going to use 13 because again, it's right in the middle. So I'll use 13 for below grade. You'll print that out and then you have some space over here on the side and I just write it all down. That helps me remember what I used for each house and I don't have to go back and forth. Because as you get down into the weeds, somebody's going to call you, someone's going to come in and ask you a question. If you work from home, the kids will drive you nuts. This way it's there. And if I get pulled away because it's taking me too long, I have the information in front of me. I don't have to worry about trying to remember. Let's get back into the CMA. Okay, so we're going to use $25 per square foot. That's not what I wanted to do. 1026 minus 9 -36 equals 90 times $25 per square foot. So that's $2,250 to the positive. That makes us happy because we have more square footage than they do. I said 2250. Now, below grade, they have more square footage finished in the below grade than we have. So that kind of makes us sad. That's 38 square feet difference. So we'll go 38 times, and we said $13. 13. So they get $364 to the negative. It makes us sad. Negative is sad because theirs is bigger. So what did I say? 364, negative 364. Okay. Neither one of us have fireplaces. Excellent. I don't have to worry about any comparables or adjustments there. Let's go back up a bit. We both have 2 bathrooms. Wonderful. I don't have to make an adjustment there. But I will go back. I'm going to take a look at the condition. How does the house look? So I pull up the pictures. They have a fence. We have a fence. It's a small fence. Their kitchen is huge and it's beautiful and it's updated. Okay, ours is not. Ours doesn't look very good. So we need to give a little consideration for that. So they've got a nicer kitchen. They've got a nicer basement too. Overall condition of the house is definitely better. Their yard is definitely bigger. So all of that would be a consideration. Not a big consideration, but a consideration. Now for kitchens, because their kitchen is updated, we're going to give them a little bit of an adjustment. So as far as kitchens go, partial update or an all new kitchen, I am actually going to go a little higher because their kitchen is larger. It's definitely newer. They have newer appliances. Some of our appliances are broken. They work, but they're broken. So the range is anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000. I'm going to give them a consideration. Oh, that's for an all new kitchen. Now, granted, I think theirs is all new, but their partial kitchen, let's take a look at that picture again. The partial kitchen is, well, no, looks like it's completely new. All new cabinets. Those are definitely newer cabinets. Newer appliances. Oh yeah, that's all new. We're going to go ahead and do an all new kitchen consideration. And I'm going to go right in the middle again of 5,000 and 10,000, and that's 7,500. So that makes us sad because their kitchen is big and beautiful and ours is not. And where I put that, I come up here to where it says presentation above the pictures, and I click on manual adjust. The description will be, kitchen, and see mine pops up because that's something that I have used before. Kitchen updates. And we said it makes us sad, so it's negative 7,500. Because again, theirs is newer, ours is not. That drops the adjusted price down from their original 183. It's bringing us all the way down to, or excuse me, our price. Their price is down to 177 now from 183. Okay. Any other items? We have a similar background. They had a patio. We have a patio. I didn't see anything else that was huge, so we're going to leave it basic. And we'll go click on this next comp. Don't click next. Click next comp. That'll bring you to the next comparable. Now, back up again. We're looking at, all right, 3 and 3 for bedrooms, 2 and 2 for bathrooms, 2 and 2 for garage spaces. Very similar. All right. Now we take a look at square footage. We only have 1,026 and they have 1,124. They have more. So what does that make us? Sad. So it's going to be negative. 1,124 minus 1,026 equals 98 more square finish than us. So we're going to multiply that by $25. So since theirs is bigger, makes us sad, and that means negative. All right, that's how I learned it. Don't laugh at me. You can laugh at me. I laugh at me too. Life is too short to not laugh at yourself. But it's a negative 24. What did I just do? Back. Oops. Negative 2450. I wanted to put that here, not there. 2450. All right. Negative 2450. Now their basement is smaller than ours of what's finished. Yay, that makes us happy. So that's going to be something that is in the positive. So let's figure this out. We've got 800 square feet to their 520. That's 280 square feet more finished than they have. And that's going to be times, what did we say? See, I didn't write it down. It's times $13. So we get $3,600 consideration more, $3,640. It makes us happy when we have something more, and it makes us sad when they have something more, because that means there's just bigger or better or more consideration. That's where the negative comes in. I hope that helps you remember it. That's what it took for me to remember it. They have 2 fireplaces. Oh my goodness, that makes us very sad. We have no fireplaces, and a fireplace is anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000. Well, we're gonna do right in the middle again, so that's 1,800 times 2. I'm not a math genius, so I use my calculator for everything. 1,800, what'd I do? Times 2, 36. See, I could have done it in my head. It's $3,600, but it's negative because it makes us sad because it's for them and not us. I crack myself up, don't mind me. All right, let's take another look here. It's all very similar. Their house is actually, their garage is attached, ours is detached. There is a consideration there, but we have more. It's a, let's see, it's actually, they have 2-car garage attached, which would be 5,000, and ours is a 2-car detached, which is 4,000. So we get 1,000 to the negative because we're sad that they have a detached and we have an attached. So right here at garage spaces, we're going to go negative 1,000. All right. Any other items? Their beautiful bar. Let me take a look at that bar in the basement and see if they have, if it's a wet bar. I cannot tell. So if you can't tell with pictures, what you do is you go back to the residential tab. We've left that open, right? And you will click on the MLS number, and that'll bring up all of the information. We're going to scroll down and see if they say anything at all about that bar down in the basement. Let's see. I have to read through it because I did not read this beforehand. I do not see any information at all. So we're going to assume, maybe rightfully so, that it does not have water or anything attached to that bar. It's just a bar. It's like having just a table there. Okay, we don't have to do any consideration for that. I think we have, excuse me, I think we've got everything we need here. Their kitchen, everything in this house was mint condition from when they built it. Ours is not. Their condition is better, but everything is, 40, 50 years dated. We're just going to leave that as is and go to the next comp. I want to make sure next comp. Okay, now this is the same floor plan across the street, 5 houses down. They have a 2-car detached garage like we do, so there's no consideration for that. They have 4 bedrooms. We have 3, but we don't give consideration for bedrooms, just square footage. They have 2 bathrooms. We have 2 bathrooms. So we're good there. Now what we do is oh my goodness, look at that again. They have 2 fireplaces. We have none. So that's going to make us really sad. And we said 1,800 per square foot. So it's negative, 3,600. There we go. And total square finish, total square footage. I'm having so much trouble today. Don't mind me. They have 988 on the main floor. We have more. So it's we go back into it again, 1026, and we subtract their 988. And that's 38 square feet more on the main level that we have than they have. We multiply that by 25 and we get $950 consideration in our favor, okay? But their basement is 38 square feet larger than ours. So it makes us sad, they have more. You know how that works. So 38 times 13, that's $494 to the negative because it's more for them and less for us. 494. Now, what else do they have? We have similar backyards. They have a nice deck on front. We have a patio on the front. They've got a beautiful patio in the back. We have a nice patio in the back as well. Theirs is a little bit nicer. Their basement's finished real nice. Okay, looking through it. Yep, looks good. Now let's get to that kitchen. Oh, that kitchen is in beautiful shape. That looks new. I think they tore down some walls and really opened it up because this was not typical of this era. So with that said, we're going to give them consideration for their kitchen. And let me take a look at that bathroom again. I believe that bathroom was updated also. That's a brand new updated bathroom. So we're going to give them some consideration as well because all that work's been done for you. So the sellers or the buyers, excuse me, won't have to. All right, so we've got 2 kitchens. No, we don't. We have 2 bathrooms and 1 kitchen, and all of them have been updated. So the kitchen update we already have down here. I'm going to put that right there. It's a new kitchen. And we are going to give it, I believe we did 8,000 for the first one. If you can't remember, go back. That's what I do. 7,500. That's right. See, this is why you write it down. I didn't. Negative 7,500. And you know what? Did I put a negative for that other one? I don't think I did. Oh, I did. Okay. Sometimes you have to double check your work because you get into the weeds and while I'm talking, I'm forgetting things. Normally I would have this done a lot quicker, but I'm talking as I'm going and I am skipping a few things in my brain. But I'm having fun and I hope you are as well. And this is informational. Now we said their bathrooms were all completely updated. We can get some consideration on this list again. So their bathrooms, both of them, they are 3/4 or full. For an all new bathroom would be 5,000. And quite frankly, they looked to be all new. So we're going to do 10,000 for both of those. Because I know in our subject property, they're not very nice. They are old and dirty. So let's give them that consideration. And because we're giving them that consideration, it makes us sad. So therefore it's negative. Okay, we have our comps done. We're done with our comps. Again, I just click save so that I can keep this saved. If I go back and forget to save it, they automatically save it, but I like to have that extra, yes, I've saved it, I know it's in there. With the CMA in Paragon, you have different options. This is the modern, they have vivid, traditional, elegant, basic, and contemporary. 9 times out of 10, I just use contemporary. It's easy to do. It's there. I like it. It's kind of got the green that we have, so I go with it. Use whatever you want. I do add my logo and my picture. My husband and I are a team, so we have our own logo. It has our LG for Lehl group just after the Good Life group. And I add that to every single one of the pages. And I click next. And the disclaimer that I put in there, just for me, I put in the middle disclaimer. The other ones, just read through them and see what feels best for you. This is solely for the sellers, so I don't put up the other part in there where it's buyers assume the properties viewed have yada. Actually, I am going to do that because they've updated it since I did this last. Copyright 2021. Okay, so buyers should assume that all properties viewed have audio visual surveillance devices in operation. This way it's just a notice, and I always go over that with my buyers too, but that's another class. All right, so we're doing the cover page. We're sending this. We're going to do this subject property. Okay, we want the subject property to be the primary focus, not me. Yes, I am the agent, but this is about the house. And yes, I'm selling myself, but again, this is about the house, not about us. I put basic comments in there like, thank you for this opportunity. No, I'm not spelling properly. To conduct a comparative. And again, my spelling is terrible, so I'll go back and fix it. It's on your home. What I also put in there is, you will notice that the adjustments have been made based on size, on condition, and on amenities. Okay, so if they have a fireplace and we don't, they got more consideration. So I'll list that out there. So when they see it, I'm going to show you the print preview page. When they get this page, usually the picture pulls up. It's not pulling up right now for some reason, but that's okay. Thank you for the opportunity. They'll see the comments right there, and it'll state exactly what I want them to see. Thank you for this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. I don't go into too many other details there. I just tell them, this is what you're looking for as you go through this. And then you make sure you click that page that you want it. Then in the cover letter, which is the next page, that is where I have a standard form that I put in for everyone, okay? And it is right here. Thank you for the opportunity to do this, blah, 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 blah. All that information is already in there. I don't have to worry about it. I say, when we list a home, it's at 6%. We always use a professional photographer, a showing service to schedule showings and acquire feedback. We personally host open houses if that is the seller's wish, and we market it to several websites, and we include what those websites are so that they know it's out there. You can also, if you're going to be doing things on Instagram or Twitter or wherever, list it in there. You can write anything you want in this customer letter. You can make it generic like I have, or you can keep it very specific to that person. If I have a very specific client, I will adjust it. But this is my go-to cover letter for everybody. So what it looks like is this, and you'll have to tweak it a little bit as you're in there. I will sign it, I'll put my name in it, all of that. But that's what that cover letter looks like. I've clicked it over here on the left-hand side. You can see at this point, we're down to this right here. Next one is agent resume. I'm going to click save again because we've done some items. And then I click next. Here we go. And here's my resume. You want to give them information, whether you've been in this business for a month or 50 years, you want to give them your resume. Whatever your past information is that makes you who you are today, include it, because your experiences in previous lives will help you with how you treat real estate. And what's wrong with letting them know that? I mean, you don't have to put everything in there, but definitely put something. I include my association so they know what I'm a member of. That includes my church, which is important to me, and philanthropic organizations that I've been a part of in the past. Honor Society from school. I'm a troop leader for Girl Scouts. I put all that in there. That way they know a little bit about me as well. Right now, Paragon does not have any company information on this tab. So I don't include the company tab. Click next again. And it will come up. It goes real slow. As you start getting into it, it bogs down just a little bit. Okay, subject property. I do a print preview or preview page so I know what it is I'm looking at. This is kind of redundant to the very first page. So I don't necessarily want to include that. I'm just going to take that out, go to the next page. The next page has the summary of adjustments, all right? I include that. It tells them exactly, this is the first house on C Street. It has these adjustments. Then you've got the next house on 80th Avenue, and these are the adjustments and why they've been adjusted, okay? Now, we didn't say anything about garage spaces. So for the house that has it attached, you may want to put that in your letter, or you can put that on the cover page and just say garage. We made adjustments for garage because one house has it attached and the other two have them detached like our property does. It is a little bit different as far as its value. So you can explain that. Click that. Now you have two options for the comparable report. You can do horizontal or vertical. I'm going to show you both. You always just come right up here, read through the page, understand what each one has, what your options are. This is horizontal, the adjustment values and what the adjustments were right here. Okay, so you've got, and then your comparable report. Now let's take a look at vertical and see what that one looks like and if it might be something that we like a little bit better. Preview page. Now this looks a lot like the CMA page that we had pulled up on our residential tab. I like this because it gives you an opportunity to look at the subject property and then the other three properties. And as you scroll down, you can see line by line all four houses. And I think that's very helpful for clients to see that. So that is what I use. I use the vertical report. If you're more comfortable with the horizontal, then use that. That's entirely up to you. The CMA summary page. Again, it takes a minute. It gets bogged down as we go through this. In order to see this, you just click preview page. All right, this has all the information in a very small page just across. It doesn't give pictures. It just gives you the basic information. Now, if you remember, I pulled this earlier before I went to the house. This is the same report. It told me all the houses that were active, pending, or sold. And this is the same report, but it's just the three comparables that we're using for this subject property. I like it. I like being able to read it. Sometimes the sellers like to read it. They want to know what the sale price is compared to the list price. They want to know how many days on the market. And this has that information as well. So I will put that in there. Comparable property statistics. These are some graphs. I don't tend to use these. I don't really like them, but you might, and that's fine. If you like them, go ahead and show them. A lot of this, the way that you would use this is, okay, this is where we listed it, this is where we sold it, and this is why it looks like that. You want to sit down with the seller and really help them understand list price or really smart pricing, and we'll get into it. There's another form in here that you can use. Like I said, I don't use that. Then you've got comparable price analysis. Let's go to this next page. And you can use this and it gives you a suggested list price. Sometimes I use this, sometimes I don't. It just depends on who my client is. If I know them, if I think, if I've gathered that they're very analytical and they like graphs, then I'll include it. If it doesn't seem to me that they would even care, I don't include it. I don't care for it, so I'm not going to include it with this. But again, you might, and that is okay. You always want to give them a net sheet. Now I cheat. I don't always use this particular net sheet. I sometimes use the one that I have that fills everything out for me. You can do it either way, but you want to make sure if you are going to upload a page, you put that in with your packet, or you just copy that information into here. It's really easy to do. So you want to include the seller net sheet. I like to include the map because the map shows where your subject property is, and it shows you the other properties as well, where they are in location. Oh, look, there's 3 right here. And then this one's way down here by I-80. Okay, still part of West Side, but it's down on the South Side. So it's a little bit different, but that's okay. We used it anyway because it helped balance us out. And again, it lets the seller see, oh, these houses are right here by mine. They truly are comparable. Got it. Final comments, I'll put them in there. I'll just say, again, I reiterate, thank you so much for your opportunity. Thank you for sharing this information, whatever you want to say. Should you choose to list with me, please know that you will be in the best of hands, blah, blah, blah. Talk yourself up, give them some final consideration. Thanks for reading this. Call me when you've had an opportunity to go through this and we'll go over it together, whatever you want to say. Okay, so we'll include that with our packet. Determining value. This is a big one. Your sellers need to see that because not always are they going to understand how we came to this price range. You want to know what your the competition is, where your location is. All of these are factors. The timing of the year, the timing of when we get the house on the market. The condition of your house, of that property, is going to affect the price that it can bring in. And then pricing it at the beginning is appropriately is very important, or you could end up on the market for a long time. So understanding that and helping them understand that will go a long way. Here's your value of a real estate professional. I include it so that, just reiterates, hey, this is important for you. You need to have me, and this is why. I have all these tips and tricks, and I have all kinds of contacts throughout the community. I know what I'm doing, and I know how to get your house sold. And I know all the steps that need to be taken to make sure it closes, not just getting an offer. There's 2 different things there. Your market planner you can use. You can put it in there so that kind of, if you have somebody who's very analytical, they'll want to know, okay, we've done the open house. Okay, we've done a preview. Okay, we've had the marketing done. Okay, you can have that all in there and you can use it yourself. Now, the next couple of ones are tips to help them understand. Here's your first impressions. You want to maximize them, blah, blah, blah. Make sure everything looks beautiful. Get rid of the cobwebs. Showings and open houses, make sure it's light and bright. All of the lights are turned on. You don't have any smelly food from before. Kitty litter is moved. It's cleaned out. It's welcoming. It looks gorgeous. People are going to want to just sit on your couch and not leave. That's what you want. Selling versus timing, you want to include that. Again, it's a nice little graph. It gives some good information. It's important to have that. Intelligent pricing is another sheet that I include because, and you have to learn this, talk with your mentor to understand what this means, of where the market value is, what it means when you price it too high, when you price it too low, and what the downfalls and the pros are for each of those scenarios. So sit down really and talk to your mentor and have them explain how all that works. There is such a thing as pricing it low to drive up the price. Sellers don't understand that. And it is up to you for them to understand, if we price it below market value, you're going to have more interest and you're going to have bidding wars, most likely, especially in a market like we are currently in the beginning of 2021, where there just are not enough houses. It will drive that price up. You will have more people competing, and you won't have to worry about things like appraisals. These are all items that you'll have to worry about when you're listing a home, and your mentor can go through that with you. So make sure you always check back with your mentor. Hey, can you expand on this for me? And they will. We have amazing realtors here at Better Homes, and they can help you. Where the dollars go, it explains how that commission happens. Their commissions, say it's 6%. My computer's going crazy. Say it's 6%. It gets split 3.6% to the listing side, and then 2.4% to the buyer side. And then that buyer agent and that listing agent will then separate it out again to their brokers. So we're not getting that full 6% just for listing the house. We share it with 3 other people. And it's important that they understand that full 6% doesn't go into your pocket, but everything that we put into their home to market it, our time spent, that comes directly out of our pocket. And that's how we're being compensated once it closes. Final is the moving checklist. Now, I will include that as well so they know what they need to do. And it's something that you will remind them as you go through the process, but it's all right there. Print this out, have it for yourself, and just, learn it until it becomes ingrained in your brain. We're going to save, and then you're going to generate presentation. Pardon me. And you click start, and the whole thing, it takes a moment, but the whole thing will pop up. And you'll have it. Now, I know this was a very long video, but it takes time to go through all of this step by step. I hope that you have learned something. I hope if you have questions, you reach out to your mentor. You're always welcome to reach out to me, to Tom, to Tim, to Leslie, to Carol, to anybody. We're all here to help you succeed. You're part of our family, so we want you to succeed. And if you have a tip that maybe your mentor shared with you, feel free to share it with us. If something works for you, share it, because maybe it's something we haven't thought of. Feel free. I'm always learning every day, and I hope you will too. And I wish you much success. But that is how you do a CMA. Okay. And then there's all the pages all together. You can print it, bind it, and then take it over to your seller and sit down with them and go through page by page. Or you can save it, download it to your computer, and email it to them. And you can do a Zoom call where you share your screen and you go through it step by step. This is the house, number one. This is what we found to be a comparable. This is the adjustments we made, blah, blah, blah. You can do it on Zoom. Again, thank you for your time. I know it's a lot, but it's not hard. It's tedious, but it's not hard. You will have fun doing this. You will find your groove, and it'll just come as second nature to you. Thank you again. Good luck.